You're listening to episode 100 of Liz's Healthy Table.
Looking for a healthy new way to feed your family without the hassle and hype? Welcome to Liz's Healthy Table, where your host, registered dietitian nutritionist Liz Weiss, serves up fresh and flavorful recipes with a tasty side of science, good nutrition, and fun. Are you and your family ready for some wholesome food that tastes great too? Don't change that dial. Your food adventure starts here.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Can you believe today's show is my 100th episode? 100 episodes. Pretty amazing. Today's show also coincides with the 4-year anniversary of Liz's Healthy Table. So there's a lot to celebrate on today's show. 4 years and 100 episodes. The time has flown by so quickly because, as you know, time flies when you're having fun, right? Together over these past 4 years, we have cooked up a storm on the podcast and the blog with new and nutritious recipes designed to feed you and your family a varied and adventurous diet. And we have tackled all sorts of topics, ranging from meal planning and prepping to the gut microbiome to clever ways to tackle picky eating. So, what topic did I choose for show 100? Well, it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Healthy aging, from your head to your toes. The fountain of youth does not exist, but by placing certain foods at the center of our tables and living an active and vibrant life, we can help to set ourselves up for aging gracefully with a spring in our step and a twinkle in our eye. Today's episode is sponsored by Fresh Avocados. Love one today. A leading source of the healthiest reasons and tastiest ways to enjoy fresh avocados. A science-based resource, it provides recipes and articles to help make it easy for consumers and health professionals to learn more about the nutritional benefits of fresh avocados and ways to include them in everyday menus. So what's in store on today's show? Well, to kick things off, I'll be sharing some of the latest science on healthy aging, brain health, and eye health. Since avocados are my favorite food on the planet, then those of you who've been following me and listening to the podcast know that I am an avocado superfan. I'll tell you how to pick avocados and how to store them. And like I do on most of my shows, I will be giving you some fresh new recipes, including a recipe for avocado and tuna Niçoise salad. That recipe, by the way, might sound fancy, but it is surprisingly easy. It's beyond delicious. I'm literally going to have it for lunch today and maybe even dinner tonight. That is how much I love it. And because we'll be talking about staying healthy from our heads to our toes, I'm going to tell you what I've been doing over these past few months to add more physical activity into my life. I was not born with the exercise lover's gene, but I'm making strides. A few friendly reminders before we get started. If you love the show, tell a friend about it or post a review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow me on lizshealthytable.com and be sure to check out the show notes from today's show for all the recipes and resources discussed. And follow me on Instagram too, at Liz Weiss. So let's get this podcast party started with some news and tips for healthy aging. 2020 was a big year for me because it was the year that I turned 60. Now, admittedly, I am not one of those people who makes a big fuss about birthdays, but turning 60 was definitely something I took note of. It was an important reminder that good nutrition, actually, let's call it great nutrition, and daily movement were more vital for my mind and my body than ever. Turning 60, it was a reminder to start paying closer attention to all of those lifestyle habits aimed at supporting graceful, vital aging. And turning 60 was a reminder that the lifestyle decisions a person makes today can impact how their body ages tomorrow. Now, whether you are 60 or 70, 20, 30, 40, or 50, this show is for you because what I'm about to share are important steps we can all take each and every day to age well. Positive health and healthy aging begin with a nutritious diet. Choosing quality, nutrient-dense foods from all the food groups can benefit our bodies as we age. The new dietary guidelines for Americans recommends choosing more nutrient-dense foods to meet our nutrient needs while balancing calories. Now, I talk a lot about the importance of choosing nutrient-dense foods. So let me define the term for you. Nutrient-dense foods are those that provide substantial amounts of vitamins, minerals, dietary fiber, and other nutrients with relatively few calories. And 85% of what you eat should be nutrient-dense. So we're talking about foods like fruits and vegetables and whole grains, lean protein and seafood, and low-fat dairy. An example of a nutrient-dense food would be avocados. They are a unique and healthy fruit. 1/3 of a medium avocado, that's 50 grams, has 80 calories, and it contributes nearly 20 vitamins and minerals, making it a healthy, nutrient-dense food choice. The other important thing to know about fresh avocados is that they contain 6 grams of the naturally good unsaturated fats. And why is that important? Well, unsaturated fats can act as a nutrient booster in the body by helping to increase the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients like vitamins A, D, K, and E without raising LDL, that's the bad cholesterol, when eaten as part of a healthy diet. So what that means is that when you add avocados to something like my tuna Niçoise salad, the fat in the avocados can help to boost the absorption of the vitamin K in the green beans and the vitamin A in the tomatoes and the vitamin E in the avocados themselves. So as a healthy and active 60-year-old, I will tell you that my memory is not what it used to be. And I always joke with my friends, and I say that it takes 2 and sometimes 4 of us to remember things, like the name of a movie star from a classic film or the artist for a song that comes on the radio. Who can relate? I bet you can relate. As we age, we do get more forgetful, but there are things that we can do to support our cognitive health as we age throughout life, no matter your age. Brain health and cognition refer to the ability to remember and learn, to plan, to concentrate, and to draw on information and logic and judgment and wisdom. And as your favorite dietitian, I am here to report that research increasingly supports a direct link between certain foods and cognitive health. Take lutein, for example. Lutein is a plant pigment naturally found in avocados and other foods like kale and spinach and eggs that's been associated with brain and eye health. When you eat lutein-containing foods, they accumulate in the eye and brain. And that's a good thing because lutein may be related to cognitive function in both young and older adults. Fresh avocados provide 136 micrograms of lutein per serving, and 1/3 of a medium avocado is a serving. And as a health professional, I'm excited about some promising research showing that eating 1 avocado a day may positively impact cognition with improvements in working memory. So here's an overview of that research. This is a clinical study of 40 healthy older adults. And researchers found that people who consumed 1 avocado per day for 6 months had higher blood and eye lutein levels compared to when they started the study. The avocado group also had improvements in cognition as measured by improvements in working memory. And additionally, as macular pigment density increased, working memory and efficiency of approaching a problem also improved. Now, the Avocado Nutrition Center funded that study. And while the research is preliminary and conclusions cannot be drawn from a single study and can't be generalized to all population groups, this research suggests that a dietary intervention with avocados like this one that increases neural lutein may be a useful dietary strategy for cognitive health. And that's exciting. Some studies also suggest that lutein may help maintain eye health as we age. People who have higher amounts of lutein in their diet seem to have a lower risk of developing age-related macular degeneration later in life. And interestingly, another study of nearly 3,000 participants conducted by the National Institutes of Aging found that people who followed 4 or 5 healthy lifestyle habits had a 60% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. So let me tell you about those lifestyle habits. They were physical activity, not smoking, light to moderate alcohol consumption, cognitive activities, and a high-quality MIND diet. Now, MIND stands for Mediterranean Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay, which emphasizes plant-based foods to reduce the risk for dementia. A Mediterranean-style diet, it's high in green leafy vegetables and other veggies like bell peppers, carrots, cauliflower, broccoli, as well as berries, whole grains, fish, nuts, legumes, and olive oil. And it's a diet with reduced consumption of red meat and alcohol. And, the plant nutrients in a MIND diet, including lutein, may play a role in the protective effects of this healthy way of eating. This lifestyle study, it was not designed to show like cause and effect. And the findings may not apply to all populations. But if you choose to follow the MIND diet, remember that avocados are a healthy fruit that can easily be included. I recommend health professionals who are listening to the podcast explore loveonetoday.com/research to go deeper into all the ongoing research about fresh avocados, including the studies I just referenced on the effects of eating avocados on cognitive function. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am getting hungry for a new avocado recipe. I think we should get back to the recipe that I mentioned at the top of the show for avocado and tuna Niçoise salad. I created this scrumptious salad to celebrate healthy aging and my 100th episode. You can find the complete recipe over on loveonetoday.com, or if you go to the show notes for today's episode, I'll provide a link to the recipe. So there is no need to write anything down. All right, here's the recipe. Avocado and tuna Niçoise salad. And this is going to serve 6. So for the recipe, I took classic Niçoise salad and I gave it a fresh new spin with luscious slices of avocado. You're going to get interesting flavors and textures in every bite of this salad, as well as antioxidants like lutein, which again, studies now have shown, may support cognitive and eye health. In addition to the fresh avocados, the leafy greens in this recipe and the tomatoes and the cucumbers also contain lutein. You can serve this salad on a large platter, kind of family style, so everybody can dig in, or you can serve it up in 6 individual bowls. Given a choice, I would recommend family style. I'm a big fan of it. That way everyone can assemble the salad of their dreams. Plus, if you have kids at your table, they're going to have fun serving up their own salad and topping it with the dressing. Give them that control, right? You could even put all the ingredients into separate serving bowls and set out like a build your own style meal. That would be super fun. And, the kids who tend to be picky, they do well when they're given that control over what's going onto their plates. So you have many options here. So let's start with salad. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need 6 ounces of green beans, trimmed, 12 small red-skinned potatoes, 2 ripe avocados, halved, pitted, and then peeled, and then divided. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. You'll need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 4 cups of spring greens, 3 hard-boiled eggs, peeled and halved or quartered, 2 5-ounce cans of albacore tuna, drained and flaked, and then 1 cup of cherry tomatoes cut in half. You'll need 1/3 cup pitted Niçoise style olives, and then a half of an English cucumber, just cut into 1/4-inch rounds. So that's for the salad. And then for the dressing, you're going to need 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh tarragon. I love tarragon. 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, 1 small garlic clove chopped, a drizzle of honey, and then just a little kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper, and that'll be to taste. So here are the instructions. Just start by filling a medium-sized saucepan with water and bring to a boil. Then add the green beans and cook for 1 to 2 minutes just until tender. And then just use tongs and carefully transfer the green beans to a colander and then rinse under cold water. And drain the green beans and set them aside in a bowl. That's blanching. Now place the potatoes into that same boiling water and then cook the potatoes for 15 to 20 minutes until they're fork tender. And then you want to drain those in a colander and rinse under cold water, and then, drain and set those aside. And then once they're cool, you can slice the larger potatoes in half. Next up, you want to place 3 of those avocado halves on a cutting board and then cut into slices, thin slices, thicker slices, totally up to you. And then drizzle the lemon juice over the slices. And then meanwhile, you want to prepare the dressing. So you prepare the dressing by placing that remaining avocado half in the bowl of a food processor. I use my mini food processor or blender. Add the lemon juice and the olive oil, the tarragon, mustard, garlic, honey, and then that salt and pepper to taste. And then just process until smooth and creamy, stopping a few times. You might have to scrape down the sides of the bowl. And then you can always season, like with a little additional honey if you want to, just taste, and a little salt and pepper if you need to. And then set that dressing aside in a small bowl. And the dressing will yield 2/3 of a cup. And, the beauty of that, of the dressing is that you can use it as a sauce in any number of recipes. You can add it into cooked pasta. You could use it as a topping for grilled chicken or salmon. It is so versatile. But it's a dressing for this salad. So now to assemble the salad, just arrange the lettuce, the green beans, and the potatoes, the avocado, the eggs, the tuna, tomatoes, olives, the cucumber on a large platter, and then garnish with tarragon sprigs, extra sprigs as desired, and then serve with the dressing on the side. Oh my, I love this salad. And, I will say this salad helps to make it easy to eat the recommended servings of fruits and vegetables each day. And according to my plate, just so you guys know, in my age group for older adults, 60 and above, the daily recommendation for vegetables is 2 to 3.5 cups. For fruit, the range for older men and women is 1.5 to 2 cups a day. And 1 avocado, by the way, counts as 1 cup. Besides salads, I like to add avocados to all sorts of recipes. For example, avocado toast, which, by the way, is celebrating 15 years this year. So happy anniversary, avocado toast. A favorite for me is whole grain bread, toasted, and then topped with smashed avocado, thin slices of tomato, and a cooked egg. Another fun combo would be feta cheese and sliced strawberries on top of the avocado. Avocados are also delicious in sandwiches and smoothies, in guacamole, at breakfast, even in dessert. There's actually a great recipe on loveonetoday.com for avocado oatmeal breakfast cookies, made with avocados as a replacement for butter. And it's like such an easy swap. And it's a recipe that really can do triple duty as a delicious on-the-go breakfast, a snack, a dessert. And I will put a link in the show notes if you want to check it out. But I think, well, we're in a roll. We're in a recipe roll. Let me go ahead and tell you about this recipe. Again, a recipe for avocado oatmeal breakfast cookies. So here's what you're going to need. You'll need 3 cups of old-fashioned oats, 1.5 cups of white whole wheat flour, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of salt, and then 1 ripe fresh avocado, halved, pitted, peeled, and then mashed, half a cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of olive oil, a cup of plain low-fat yogurt, 2 large eggs, and then 2 cups of dates. And these are going to be pitted and chopped. So that's about 12 ounces. So to make these breakfast cookies, You want to heat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and then line 4 baking sheets with aluminum foil and then spray with nonstick cooking spray. Combine the oats, the flour, the baking powder, baking soda, the cinnamon, the salt in a medium bowl, and then cream together the oil, avocado, and brown sugar in a separate large bowl, and then stir in the yogurt and the eggs. Add that oat mixture to the avocado mixture and then stir it until combined, and then stir in the dates. And then to make the cookies, you're going to use a 1/4 cup measure to transfer the mixture onto those lined baking sheets, spacing the cookies about 2 inches apart. And you'll bake for 18 to 22 minutes until golden, and then just transfer to a wire rack to cool completely. And you can certainly work in batches for this recipe. So over on loveonetoday.com, they have lots of avocado recipes to choose from. I actually just saw a recipe for avocado poke bowls that I'm really excited to try. Now, if you're curious about how to pick the best fresh avocado, you want to focus on color and texture. First, look at color. So darker avocados may be riper than ones with lighter skin. Large indentations are signs that the fruit's been bruised and should not be purchased. Next, you want to test for firmness. And to do that, place the avocado in the palm of your hand and squeeze lightly to avoid bruising. Now, if the avocado yields to gentle pressure, you know it's ripe and ready to eat. If not, then the avocado will be ripe in maybe 2 to 3 days. If the avocado feels mushy, it might be overripe. And don't ever fall for the myth to remove the stem cap to tell if an avocado is ripe. That's bad advice. The stem cap is there to help protect the fruit from oxygen, which can turn the flesh brown. By removing, you can jeopardize the quality for the next person who's at the market. So leave it in place until ready to eat. Now, ripe, uncut avocados can be safely stored in the refrigerator for up to a week. They will also continue to ripen, but at a slower pace. To store a leftover avocado half, people ask me this a lot. So to store a leftover avocado half, you want to leave the skin and the pit on. And this is going to help to limit the surface area that's exposed to air. You want to sprinkle with lemon or lime juice, and then you want to place it in an airtight container or tightly covered tightly cover it with clear plastic wrap. Adding this acidic ingredient, the lemon juice, the lime juice, can help to prevent oxidation when added on top of, say, guacamole. You can place the guacamole in an airtight container and press clear plastic wrap against the surface of the guacamole before covering it, but store it in the refrigerator, no more than 12 hours. That's good information. So I hope that you're going to give this new salad a try and those breakfast cookies, especially now that you know how to pick the perfect avocado. To wrap up my show on healthy aging from head to toe, let's talk about exercise. Now, as I shared at the top of the show, I'm not an exerciser, but since I love walking and doing yoga, I guess you could say that I do, in fact, enjoy exercise, just not vigorous exercise. This winter I bundled up and I walked almost every day. And now that it's warm out, I have amped up my walking and I will be biking outside again very soon. In fact, I've just started to do more of it now that it's warm out. I have an e-bike, so I can now bike longer distances with ease. Tim and I also invested in a fancy exercise bike since we're not going to the gym anymore, and that's been great. So I will typically do a 20-minute ride a few days a week, and sometimes I do a ride class with 10 minutes of arms, so 20 minutes riding and 10 minutes of arms, and it's actually really fun. I know my limits, so I don't bite off more than I can chew. But I do try to do something every day, and I feel better, especially when I exercise in the morning. No excuses for the rest of the day, and it does invigorate me. I would love to hear what you're doing to stay healthy and vibrant as you age. You can hop over to lizshealthytable.com and post a comment in the show notes post from episode 100. Let's share our best ideas for how we age gracefully. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I would like to thank Fresh Avocados Love One Today for supporting today's episode. Visit their site, loveonetoday.com, for a wide variety of tasty possibilities created by registered dietitians, helpful tips, as well as an easy sign up for their newsletter to get more avocado goodness in your inbox. If you love today's show, tell a friend about it. Post a review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, thanks for listening to Liz's Healthy Table.